video for the upcoming Tacoma competition where we are all down in Washington for the, so this video is for
athletes, parents
of the Senior 1 team, the J2 team,
J3.
the J3 team,
Senior 4.
and the Senior 4 team. Okay, I'm not liking my hair up.
What?
That's what you get when you get us live, everybody. Okay, here we go. All right.
Yes, and so we thought we'd better do a video and then have a meeting to try and get all 40 families here at the same time. So we thought doing the video would be better.
Yeah, so just for, because this is in our families page, if you don't know who we are, I'm Stephanie Kennedy, this is Dawn Silver, and we're the owners of Panther Cheer. And this video is only for those families that are coming to the Tacoma Washington competition that is upcoming next weekend. So if you do not have an athlete coming to the competition, then you can swipe on by and not watch this video because it's not important for you. Hi, Ainsley! Ainsley, you're supposed to be in school.
If your mom sees this.
Maybe it's lunch break. Okay, so Tacoma. Tacoma is next weekend. This weekend we obviously are at Cheerfest in Abbotsford, and then the following weekend we leave for our annual trip down to Tacoma. We've been doing this competition for,
oh, for sure,
like every year I think that we've had Panthers, 13 years. So we are very seasoned in all things Tacoma, and we've been doing it for a long time. So it's pretty much the same kind of itinerary that we follow every year. But we do have lots of new families, and so we want to go over all of the details so that you all are prepared and understand the flow of the weekend and expectations around athletes and parents and the hotels that we're staying at and all of that sort of thing. Hi, Sierra. Okay, so you will be getting home via an email, an email that has the itinerary for you. So it's right now it's 3 pages. We'll see if it stays 3 pages after this video. And then there will be a couple forms attached with it as well that you need to know about. So the first few things that it talks about is where the competition is being held. So it's being held at the Tacoma Convention Center, and the hotel that most of the all of the athletes that are staying with coaches are staying at the hotel immediately across the street from the venue. It's a beautiful hotel and it's right across the street, so that makes things way easier for transportation and things like that while we're down there. A few of our athletes who are staying with their parents are staying at a hotel that is 1 block away from the convention center because there were not enough rooms for everyone to stay. It's a very popular hotel. Do you have anything to add on that?
No.
Okay. I'm not going to go over all the details. Like the pricing is on here, what it costs to get in as a parent for your 2-day pass, and you have to have your wristbands, so make sure you don't take your wristbands off. The waivers and passport information will be attached to the email that you get. What is important that you know about is the border crossing form. So if your child is traveling with the coaches and you are not coming, or your child is going
with only one parent,
you have to fill out a border crossing form. We give you a template of that form. We've used it for 10 plus years at the border. And to be honest, they don't really always ask for it, but we have it just in case. And it gives permission for the child to travel with only one parent or with no parents, with a different guardian. So you will likely be putting my name on that border crossing form with my phone number. So Dawn has it filled out, and you just have to fill out your own personal details about that. I feel like we're like under the comments. I'm gonna move it down a little bit. Hi, Tina. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Karina. Okay, so again, this video is for people who are going to Tacoma. So I'm only going to be talking about the competition in Tacoma. So if you are not coming to Tacoma, then you don't have to watch us. But you can watch us because we're entertaining as well. Sometimes. We will probably argue in this video at some point. And then
I do want to show what we mean by the baggie.
Oh, okay. So the other thing that the kids have to have with them when you drop them off at the bus on Friday morning, which I'll get into in just a moment, is a baggie. And in that baggie must be their care card, information, their medical, extended or Blue Cross number, and
a plastic baggie. So their passport, their care card number, or their birth certificate, and their extended health number in case we have to take them to the hospital if they trip or, knock on wood, nothing else, that we have their information. The border crossing form is going to be handed into coaches at this week's practice so that the coaches have it. So this baggie, when you check in on Friday, you're going to have your name written, your child's name written in black felt on the outside, and they're going to hand it to their coach when they get onto the bus. The coach is going to hold on to it so you don't have to worry about your child losing their passport or birth certificate and information. And then the coaches will give it back when you get to the border, when you go through the border crossing, and then the children will give it back to their coach, and the coaches will hold on to it in the safe for the weekend.
There you go. See, we've got it all covered. So again, she's talking about birth certificates because if your child is under the age of 16, they can cross the border with a birth certificate, but everybody else needs a valid passport. So yeah, if there are any questions on that part, I can take live questions. Yeah, so the Ziploc bag, and again, the coaches take responsibility so that the athletes do not lose any of those important documents. That's why we do that. And we've been doing that for a long time, and it works very well. As I said about the hotel, is because we are such a large group this year, we had to get hotel rooms in 2 different hotels. So the coaches and the athletes that do not have any parents with them are staying in one hotel, which is the team hotel across the street. And any parents that are coming with our 11 and under athletes, or older if the parents are coming, and the athlete that wants to stay with the parent, are coming to 2 different hotels. And so you've been sent all that information already, and you will have to, if you are a parent checking into a hotel, you will have to show your credit card when you show up to pay for the room when you get there. And check-in time on Friday is 3:30 p.m. and check-out time on Sunday is 12 o'clock p.m. for all of the hotels?
I believe so.
Okay, so just double check with the hotel that you're staying at to make sure. But again, it'll be under your credit card. You're paying for the hotel. I will just be paying for the hotels of all of the Panther athletes and the coaches' rooms.
Yes. And so in this itinerary, we will also put in the rooming list. So do you want to talk about the rooming list and how they were formed?
Okay, so athletes that travel with us, I'm just writing this down, that we're going to include the rooming list. Because I know that the athletes were all pestering me about it last night at practice. And so I know they're very excited to find out who they're staying with in the rooms for the 2 nights. So what we do as Panthers and how we decide on who's, I feel like we should be above the comments, who we stay with, who the kids stay with, is we let them each submit the name of 2 athletes that they would like to stay with, and then we put rooms of 4 together, trying to make sure that every athlete has at least one of those 2 people. And we know all the kids really well, so we do our best to make sure that rooms are put together for very specific reasons. So I don't think there will be any problems or issues. I think that I'll be
Everybody
very
got
happy
at least one person
that they wanted to
that
be
they
with.
wanted.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to I'm going to talk a little bit about packing, because this is on here too, the packing list. So please make sure that if your child is young and doesn't know how to pack, or if they're old and they're not very good at packing, maybe you want to double check what they packed. But they need to obviously have their undergarments for the 3 days, like, because the spare is always a good idea. Their cheer shoes, their uniform, their black and pink Panther t-shirts, their competition bows, their toiletries, a jacket, because it might be cold and they do have to walk across the street, and they will be walking on the way down when we go for lunch, so they should have a jacket or something warm. They should have clothes to wear to and back from the competition venue, and then they need all their hair stuff if they are a girl, so like their hairspray, their brush, their comb, their elastics, the hair straightener. Once they know their rooms, I do recommend that they share hair straighteners and stuff.
You don't need 4 of everything.
You don't need 4 blow dryers and 4 hair straighteners. That's a bit overkill. So in their rooms, they should have a bit of conversation around those sorts of things. Hi, Colby. Hi, Amber. Hi, Sharon. How's the kitty, Sharon?
How does that work?
I know, but just, kitties are fun.
Hi.
Okay. The other thing that they should be talking about with their roommates is snacks and food. So there isn't really anywhere, like we'll be eating obviously while we're on the trip. But if they have a particular diet, and they want snacks, and you don't want to give them a bunch of money to be buying everything down there, they can pack snacks into their suitcase and have them. Anything, as long as it's not fresh fruits or vegetables or meat products, then they're fine to go. And you can go on the customs website to see what acceptable items are going across the border. They do need to declare anything that they're bringing across the border on the way down, but we've never had any problems with that. So they should talk to their friends in their room and make sure that, like, oh, I'm going to bring microwave popcorn. Is there microwaves in the room?
I'm not sure.
There might be.
There might be.
You never know. There might be one downstairs that they could use.
And with snacks, we don't mean it's candy-filled rooms. Sometimes we walk into the room and they have literally there is a whole table filled with junk food, like sugar snacks and chips and sugar. We mean healthy snacks so that they can make it through the day and compete and not be down on a sugar crash. We mean healthy snacks.
You heard her. She's the boss. Okay, and so then the next thing I'm going to go over a general itinerary of the 3 days. And so, is there breakfast at the hotels?
No.
Okay. So there is no breakfast at this hotel. So you need to, that's one of the things we recommend that you pack, whether it's oatmeal that you can just add hot water, because all the rooms usually have a coffee pot, whether it's cold cereal. We do have parents that are coming with us, so if we do need to go to a grocery store or something, we could possibly get some milk or yogurt or items like that to have in their rooms. And so those of you parents that are joining us that have a vehicle, we might ask you to help us out with that way. But don't worry, the coaches will have it all under control. So the itinerary on Friday, so it starts on Friday, we leave from the gym. The bus is coming to the gym to pick us up. All of the athletes must be at the gym by 8:30 a.m. So that's when you parents need to drop them off on the Friday morning. So they are obviously missing school on Friday. So make sure you've called them in and absent, and that they have talked to their teachers about anything they might be missing that day. I was a high school teacher for many, many years. Teachers are usually really accommodating and very friendly if the athletes come and say in advance, I'm going to be missing Friday, so that if there's a test on Friday, they can write it on the Thursday. You always offer to write the test the day before the test, right? Not after the test. That pisses teachers off. So always, you have a whole week, a week and a half before we leave. No, a week. So make sure that they've gone in and talked to their teachers about anything that they might be missing or anything that is due, so that that's not a problem. Same goes for when we go to Hawaii and they're missing some school there too. So athletes have to arrive so the bus can leave on time. You are responsible as a parent to get your child to the gym by 8:30. If you work, then try and carpool with someone else from your neighborhood. Again, we have a whole bunch of people going to Tacoma, so that shouldn't really be a problem. Athletes will need your passport and travel insurance. The athlete's healthcare information must be written out. So Dawn already talked about that, about the Ziploc baggie, and that athletes will be collecting that. We will be making one stop on the way down, which is at South Center Mall for lunch. That is, we have lots of requests. It's like tradition. Lots of people like to go to the Cheesecake Factory. What's the earliest they can drop off? Tina's asking.
I'm not here. So.
You're not here. 8:30. I won't be here much before that.
Well, we can ask Taryn to show up at 8.
At 8.
Yeah, so I'll ask one of the coaches to be here for 8 a.m.
Does that work for you, Tina? I don't want any little itty bitties left here at the gym. I mean, Ashley, it'll be cold in the morning, so the gym will be open starting at 8 a.m. So we are stopping at South Center Mall on the way down. That is where there is a Cheesecake Factory, so some people like to go for lunch there. And then there is cheaper alternatives as well. There is a food court and everything they could possibly want. So we like that mall. The way that supervision works at the malls, everybody that's going on the bus together, again, I'm really just talking about people on the bus right now. They will be in groups. We talk to the athletes always about being in groups of 3 and the importance of that. So we will go over the rules about being at the mall and where they can go, and the coaches will be supervising as needed for the younger ones. And then we'll have lunch, and then we'll get back on the bus, and we hope to arrive at the hotel by 4 p.m. Once we're at the hotel, and I have checked everybody in and gotten all the keys and all the rooms, The athletes will go to their rooms, settle in, figure out where they're at, and then we will figure out dinner that night. Now, we are taking four different, I have one broken nail, so I have to not show that one. Four different teams down to Tacoma. And the coaches for each of those teams is responsible for organizing the events for that team. So if you are not coming as a parent, then it'll be easy. The coaches will supervise the kids. There will be events. They'll be fed. There'll be dinners. It's just a bit more confusing if you are a parent coming with an athlete. So I'll talk about that in a moment. So that'll be Friday night. If you are coming by a car and you are not on the bus with us, you should aim to arrive at the hotel around 4 o'clock as well. And then you want to make sure you have the text cellular phone number of your contact coach so that you can let them know that you have arrived, and they can then contact you and find out what room you are in, and then find out what the plan is for that day. I'm going to get into that in a second. So the dinner that night will be planned. Team moms are helping with the planning of the dinner for the different teams on what night and the events that are happening on Friday night.
And some of that cannot be planned until we have the final schedule. So we have a draft schedule that I will also send out with this itinerary, but sometimes they change dramatically, and so we don't get the final schedule until next Wednesday. And so that's why some of this information hasn't come out yet, is because it's hard to give you information when we don't have a schedule, because we could plan all this stuff and then it might not work with each of the team's performance times. And ultimately we're heading down for a competition, and that's our number one priority. And so the dinners and team events all go around when the team is performing. And then some of the athletes are on two teams, so then we have to take that into consideration as well. So once we get the information, we give the information to you. Anyways, that's my rant.
That was a lot. She doesn't usually talk that much. So she talks that much to me, but not always to you guys. So each day is listed on this, I won't put it in front of your face, is listed on this sheet. And then at the bottom what it says approximate costs for the day. So we try and tell you approximately how much money you should be giving the athletes for that day. So we talk about on Friday that you should pack some snacks for the day on the bus and things like that.
You should have already eaten breakfast when your child arrives here for the bus.
Yeah, and that you will be eating at the mall for lunch that day, and then we will be going for dinner that night. And so, we think the approximate cost for the day is about $40 US for lunch and dinner. So obviously Dawn's kind of done like 20 and 20 or 15 and
Well, the Cheesecake Factory has a kids meal that's only $7. I went and looked online. So if the kids use that, and then most mall meals are less than $10, so that leaves $30 for dinner. So that's where I came up with the number.
She's smart. That's why she does this job.
Sometimes.
Okay, so it'll be lots of fun. And then Saturday, we are heading, Saturday's competition, day 1. So the times are here for you. The details are all going to be in this itinerary for your individual team. I feel like I don't need to go into details for the J2, because if you're not a J2 parent, you don't really care about what the J2 itinerary is. And so, just again, on each competition day, the coaches will be meeting with all of their teams at a specific time. We'll be telling the athletes what time to be ready and what to have with them for the day. So, again, if they're not traveling with a parent and they are under the supervision of the coach for the competition, it's very straightforward. Where this gets a little bit tricky is for those of you as parents who are coming down